Today in Agronomy on KFIL AM 1060 with Pioneer Field Agronomist Allie and Josh Schaffner. Here's Josh and Allie.
Good morning, Southeast Minnesota. It's September 16th, 2020, and this is episode 40, Allie. So kind of a big number there, kind of exciting. So Allie, we're kind of steamrolling right through September here, halfway through already, and a lot of corn getting to black layer as I've made the rounds here this week. But, GDU-wise, just kind of looking at some early black layer, GDU kind of says we should be a black layer. So it's good to see it matching up well.
Yeah, GDUs, and it's nice that we're actually back to picking up GDUs this week, and we're keeping that windy weather in there too. So like you said, a lot of those kind of 94, 95 days are definitely getting to black layer there. But GDU-wise, out of Preston, Minnesota, from the April 20th planting date, we're sitting around 2336. So that's, a little below the norm, but, like we've talked in previous shows, we have to keep in mind that the early planting day is working in our favor. So even though maybe GDU wise compared to the norm, we're trending behind, but you figure in those days we're ahead planting wise, and that's helping our cause significantly. Maybe just a quick overview. You look at where we sit here today. Where would we have been sitting back in 2019?
So a year ago, we always kind of remember last year, and we were on this day last year. Now, if we would use the same planting dates, which isn't quite fair, we planted much later last year than we did here in 2020, but we were 2160 just year over year. That would have been minus 247. And Allie, as we get through September and get to October, our daily accumulations get pretty low. Even last week we were averaging, 1 or 2 GDUs in some of those days. And we're kind of at a point now where we should be probably averaging, probably 10 to 12. And, we're doing pretty good here on days like the first few days of the week. But yeah, it just, years like last year, it just, we were just hoping to get it black layered by October 5th, where this year, some black layer now. Now we're really trying to utilize this time between now and October 5th to really get to maturity, and also, take advantage of some of the warmer days and warmer temperatures, longer days, and hopefully get some dry down into this crop so that we don't have to start, maybe start at 28. And it felt like we quit at 24 last year is kind of what it felt like. And this year, hopefully we can just have that be in our favor a little bit. And, but no, hard to predict what the weather's going to do here, the rest of September, October, but, just really like where the crop stage is at. And I think we'll be here in pretty good shape here from a moisture standpoint if the weather cooperates.
Yeah, I had some moisture samples today. A few folks sent me some pictures from our 94 day, 94, 92, and moisture's down there. We're definitely getting closer and closer each day to those harvestable moistures. Mm-hmm. So nice to see. But otherwise, on the corn side of things, what are some things you're seeing out in the field right now that are worth just talking through here real quick?
Yeah, corn's changing in a hurry, and I was on the field yesterday a little bit, and I've noticed this in other fields. This isn't a one-off thing, and some of our listeners may see this as they're walking in and out of some cornfields. But just walking through the fields, and a grower thought maybe had some disease pressure, was it some rust or things like that, and really as we got out there and walked the field a little bit, especially on the edge, but it went in there a long, long ways. What we were actually seeing was actually some damage on the leaves from spider mites. And some of you might be thinking, spider mites, that's a soybean thing, not a corn thing. But it is a pest of both crops. And in this case, with some of our drier conditions, especially in Fillmore County in the southeast corner, we ran into that. And some of you might be thinking, well, what does that look like? And in a way, if you've ever seen it on soybeans, it's kind of a similar appearance, but it kind of gets you that leaf stipling or speckled appearance on the leaf surface. And basically, what that spider mite is doing is just kind of using its stylage to rupture the leaf cell. And then it's just basically tearing into there and actually drinking the contents of the leaf. And as a result, you see kind of that bronzing. And, and the thing I'm looking at it's as severe of damage as I've ever seen from spider mites in corn. I don't know if it's having a huge yield impact. I know in western parts of the Corn Belt, it can be a pretty major, up to 30, 40, 45% yield loss in severe cases. This is nothing like that. It's dry. I don't think it helped it, but I don't think it maybe hurt us more than maybe 1% or 2% of yield. If that, I think would be a stretch, but something kind of unique. But really, if you do walk fields that are along gravel roads, the first 12, 14 rows, I've seen it quite a bit. But if you see some of that, don't panic. And in most cases, that's what's going on.
Well, yeah, and I thought our counterpart, just to the west of us, he kind of had a quick tip of things to look for if you think it could be spider mites in corn. So he just talked about that if you're looking along the midrib on the underside of the leaf, you could potentially find some light webbing from the mites as well. So
Mhm.
that might be another thing to
Yep.
look for as you're out in those fields because it does certainly catch your
Yep.
eye. But and then real quick on the corn side before we move to beans in segment two, you've got some cool trials that you're maybe interested to for everyone to see the results come harvest time. Maybe give us a quick overview of that.
Yeah, just row spacing. I mean, it's kind of a simple trial, nothing crazy other than plain, what I kind of call an alternative row spacing trial. So I got a couple of them across southeast Minnesota this fall and or this season, and basically what I'm doing is instead of a standard 30-inch row, I'm taking every third row and having that row stay off. So in theory, I got like a 30-inch gap, then a 60, then 30, then a 60, but we're leaving the plants per acre the same. So there's the same amount of plants per acre. It's just in that arrangement of rows. And today I was walking one of those, and I played around with this in the past. And the one thing, Allie, in this case, it was a 94-day, both were black layered. But in the 30, 60, 30 row spacing, it's amazing. The stay green was, I mean, just extremely green, well below the ear leaf. If you go in the normal row spacing, 30 inches, it was pretty well senesced. It was black layered, what you'd expect, but yield wise, it looks like it's really going to favor that 30, 60, 30. But stay tuned. I'll have some yield results. We got a couple locations out there. I'll be curious to see how they shake out.